welcome to another video and another season of GBL indeed. So today we're going to be testing out Pidgey-wot. It's got a bit of a buff with Feather Dance. We're going to be pairing it with Medicham Counter, Ice Punch Psychic, and we're going to roll it around with, yes, I know, probably a few groans, but yeah, a bit of meta, Mudshot, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Stunfisk. But the real feature here and what we're looking at today is Pidgey-wot. It's obviously got a buff with Feather Dance, which decreases your opponent's attack, and Brave Bird's an absolute killer move. So we're going to test it out. Now, you guys are probably wondering, is he going to include any games where the opponent gets bricked by Feather Dance? And look, to be honest with you, I didn't really want to include too many of those, just because it's just a four with the game. I think it happened about 3 times in the 4 sets that I used the team. But anyway, let's get into the battles here. Medicham on the lead here. Obviously, at this stage, it was one of the first games. I didn't know how Pidgey-wot on the safe swap could handle Electrode and those electric attacks being flying. But as I found out in later sets, if you can get a Feather Dance through, it's actually really manageable, and it almost makes Pidgey-wot seem super tanky. Anyway, massive lag here. A lot of you guys probably had something similar, but finally we get in and the Pidgey gets his chance. Dragon Claw coming through here. Wanted to get the Feather Dance off first before I took any damage. And can I just say, this Feather Dance move, it does brick phones, but it's also a super good move. It means that Pidgey-wot can actually beat Galarian Stunfisk in the 2 shield. So that's how crazy the move is. But anyway, going through now, it drops the attack by 2 stages. So these Dragon Claws are not doing very much at all. And Stunfisk is going to be able to clean up with the debuff here. Probably even Mudshot down, I reckon. And they'll just come back in with the Caracosta, and that rock typing on Caracosta means it's going to take super effective here, and that's the end of that. So GG's. Obviously some of these first games aren't going to probably be the super best quality games you'll see, but it's a good testing ground for Pidgey for sure, particularly as I actually don't use many. I do use Stunfisk, but I don't really use Medicham that much either, so it was kind of a good little practice field just to get used to that and Pidgey-wot. But yeah, as you find out, Medicham's an absolute tank, and so is Stunfisk, so you can afford to use your shields and invest them on Pidgey-wot. And what I was finding too is a lot of teams were carrying at least a grass or something that was pretty weak to Pidgey, so yeah, it was very enjoyable to use. Dark Pulse coming through here, just winning switch here so I can get the Pidgey into a good matchup. And the opponent comes in with Politoed, which I found was in a lot of games today. I think at this stage I was a little bit worried about how the Pidgey would go against a Politoed, but Gust is a very good move as well. Obviously it's similar to Incinerate. But you'll see the Feather Dance coming through, and this matchup's particularly interesting. So attack goes through. He's got enough for a Blizzard here, so I'm going to shield, and he's baited me. So unfortunately, he's going to get to the Blizzard here, and keep in mind this is a 2-stage debuff by Feather Dance Blizzard. But look at that, Pidgey takes it easily and can now farm down, and we can get the Brave Bird off on whatever's in the back, and it just happens to be a Shiftry. So watch this move go through, bang. See you later, Shiftry. Anyway, into the next game here. Some of the early matchups weren't too bad. I think a lot of people are getting better at Pokemon now, or GBL. But yeah, again, another Politoed. People really like the spamminess of Politoed. And this one's running Surf though, so a bit interesting. But Medi can tank whatever this has got, and yeah, basic thing here is we don't really want to be losing switch here if we can help it, but we're going into the Pidgey-wot. This just wanted to test how well it does do on the safe swap, and as we saw in the last game, it can well and truly take a Blizzard, but he's just throwing Surfs here, and what we'll do is throw here to force a shield, see if they want to stay in. and they don't, so that's good. And electric type, so another good example here. Obviously, Stun Fist's in the team to counteract that electric type that Pidgey's weak to, but they've shielded the move here, and that's why Feather Dance is so good. The mon that comes in afterwards can actually just farm up a ton of energy, and in this case, the Plusle's only got Grass Knot that can hurt the Stun Fist. So all I'm going to do here is just ramp up the energy and just have a ton of energy ready to go for the next mon. And I think they've realised that, and they've gone into their Absol, and it's a 14-17 Absol. So look, even if it was 1500, it's not going to do much. Although it does hit very hard. That Dark Pulse probably would have KO'd or close to it. But at this stage, we can just throw the Psychic and finish this game. Alright, we should be getting into a few battles at a little bit of a better level. I think once you sort of hit rank 2 or rank 3, you actually meet some people that, or you can run into some people that actually know movesets and all that sort of thing. So he's safe swapped here into the Raichu, and yeah, hard counter for that. And with this electric type out of the way, it's a perfect opportunity for Pidgeot to just run wild after this. So we'll just build up a ton of energy here and throw the Rock Slide. Don't really want a KO, to be honest, and he's shielded anyway. So we'll just build up a ton more energy. Because obviously that Machoke's going to be coming back in, and we want to make sure that we can at least threaten the shield and let Pidgey run right. So Wild Charge coming through now, obviously that's not going to do much, but that'll make the farm down a lot easier. But we're going to throw here. We've got just about enough for an Earthquake after this, so everything's looking pretty sharp at this stage. And it comes back in. We'll just throw the Earthquake and probably just go straight into the Pidgey. And there we go. And as you can see here, look at that. The gust damage is just massive. Gets the move through. We'll shoot here. It's probably Dynamic Punch or something along those lines. He's probably got another one just about. He does, but we can safely shield here. I guess that's the only negative thing about Pidgeot is its normal typing. So normal flying means that it actually takes neutral from fighting. And yeah, Togekiss coming in here, so all we'll do is throw a Feather Dance just to reduce the charm damage, and that should buy us enough time to get to a Brave Bird, and that'll be the end of the Togekiss. It's a bit of spice there, but we certainly met it in the right order anyway, otherwise it could have been a bit of trouble. And into the next game here. Yeah, so this was pretty crazy. To be honest with you, I got out of there as soon as I could. Obviously, wanted to be able to test out the Pidgeot, but Medicham takes neutral from Psychic moves, so Psystrike probably would have just about killed it. And this is terrible here, gone into Frostlass, and yeah, things aren't looking amazing for us. Hard counter sort of line, and they're playing it reasonably well here. They even stayed in to get a shield, but look, we've thrown our Feather Dance, so we're out of here. Obviously, a Frostlass hits a lot harder than most things, but what we can do here, Medicham's really got nowhere to go. So what we're going to do is bring in the Medicham here, just get some energy on it, swap on the move there. This will probably be Shadow Ball, which is what we're hoping for. Yep. And so they've used all their energy there, and what we can then do is just farm up a ton of energy. This won't KO us. And from here, oh, they've brought in a Zoomeril, so that's not great for us. But basically what we were trying to do there was farm up a lot of energy. That Mewtwo will go down to, oh, he's shielded thinking we were going to throw the Earthquake first up, and that's given us a bit of a chance in this game. Yeah, the idea was to farm up the energy because Mewtwo is pretty fragile, and we thought if we hadn't enough to threaten the shields, we should be okay. So we're going to build up to a Rock Slide here and get out of this matchup. We can throw the Psychic here on the Azu, and at this stage, we can probably look to shield and counter down. So play rough coming through. I don't think they'll get to another one, and it won't KO anyway. Oh, they will get to another one, sorry, but this isn't going to KO, and we're not really threatened by the Psycho Cuts on the Mewtwo. So what we're going to do here is counter all the way down. Now, this is the most damage you'll ever see an Ice Punch do to a Pokemon. As you can see here, bang, that's the end of Mewtwo, and we're going to threaten here. but can't quite get to the move. But of course, we kept the rock slide in the back on the Frostlass, so we got out of trouble there. GG's. But yeah, very close. And I mean, that's a level 2 battle, so yeah, things pretty tough early for if you get the wrong matchups. So again, Politoed in the lead. It's an awkward matchup, but because of Medicham's bulk, it can certainly do a lot of damage. You see that counter damage has sort of got it down to 65% already. Now we can threaten here. We shielded, so trying to just draw a shield out of them. See what we get. We do. And now we'll just go straight for the Psychic. We either get the shield or we get Switch. So we'll let this one go. And yeah, if the Psychic goes through, we get Switch, which is our preferred option. So let's see if he's willing to go down 2 shields. Of course, Pidgey-wot, when the opponent's down 2 shields, is pretty massive. So he decides not to do it, goes into the Umbreon now. And at this stage, we're in a pretty comfortable situation. We just get off as much damage as we can here against the Umbreon. And then we'll look to probably go into the... well, the Stunfisk could be a safe matchup, for sure. Especially considering we've got rid of that Politoed. So could shield here, but I think it's probably best we let this go down. We want to make sure we're okay with whatever's in the back. At this stage, we'll just come in with the G-Fisk and soak up any energy. So throw here, and we might even hedge our bets here and go into Pidgey-wot after this, because it's pretty low now. So we can come in, we can take a foul play, but they've got a bit of energy. We might have to take 2, which isn't amazing, but we would definitely be able to farm down there. So another one coming through now. We'll let that go. But we're in a really good position here, and it's a grass in the back. So this is really good for us. So Feather Dance, we'll get the Feather Dance off here, and that should mean that when the G-Fisk comes in, it should be able to take this match up pretty comfortably. So we're just going to get this down as far as we can. He's building up to probably a Frenzy Plant here. We'll let this go. And then we can come back in with that G-Fisk. And let's see how much a Frenzy Plant does with the debuff here. Not very much, I'd assume. Yeah, he's going to need sort of 3 more of those to get through. And this Rock Slide will just about KO. So GG's there. And yeah, Pidgey-wot, look, it doesn't necessarily win matchups, but it just sort of helps out the team, and he's given up there. It just helps out the team, and can sort of set up a farm down, that type of thing. All right, so this is a bit of a tricky one. I'd have to say Shadow Swamp, it's just about the worst thing this team can see. It's risky to swap in that scenario, so you pretty much just stay in. At this stage, I'm going to let this Hydro go through and probably switch into Pidgey-wot. So I'll have to shield once here, but if I only got 1 gust through, but that's fine. And what I've been finding is a lot of people go into Hypno because they've got Thunder Punch to try and sort Pidgey out, but once you land that Feather Dance, quite often I might shield the first one, but once you've landed 1 or 2 Feather Dances, the Thunder Punches don't do that much at all, which is pretty cool. So Feather Dance here, see if he shields, and then just gust down. He's let that go. Oh, it's got through. That's a bit of a bummer. Hopefully we can still get this done. Yep, survives. And we can gust down here. And in comes Altaria. Not amazing, but we've got Stunfisk for this. And yep, swap there, catch the Hydro. Now at this stage, what we can do is counter down and at least get 1 shield from the Altaria with Ice Punch. So that's definitely worth the shield there. And we had to make sure that Swampert was gone. Even 1 Hydro off on the G-Fisk and you're in trouble. So yeah, the counter damage a little bit there too. So we're at a point now where it's kind of a race. He's got to get to... I wonder if they'll throw the Gleam here. Or Moonblast. Yeah, he's gone Moonblast. Trying to get the debuff. But yeah, all it is now is it's a race between moves. Got to land 2 Rock Slides now, and they've probably got to land at least 2 charge moves. Their first one coming through now. Obviously the G-Fisk outpaces comfortably, and the Dragon Breaths are resisted, so very comfortable position here. G-Fisk is very capable, and it, pretty much hardballs Altaria. Obviously it's not Basti, but it's pretty close to it. Puts a lot of charge move pressure on, and this will just about KO now. does KO, and that's the end of that game. So GG's there. All right, next matchup here, Talonflame. All right, so the Talonflame is pretty ridiculous. Obviously, it's a pretty tough one for this team to handle as well. So what we've done here is we've gone into Pidgey. They've actually swapped there, so that was clever. They've saved some energy. And but what we can do here is Feather Dance our way through this matchup. Now, Pidgeot's actually a really good answer for most Jellicents, because most Jellicents run Bubble Beam and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball's resisted, Bubble Beam doesn't do a lot, and because we're hitting them with the Feather Dance, and Gust being a pretty OP move, we can just trade blows here and we will win this matchup pretty comfortably. As you can see there, he's throwing the Shadow Ball, no good, and we'll Gust down now. Now, obviously, we've won that mid-game, and as you can see here, we're going to see Feather Dance come through, and he's shielded there. Going to get to another Feather Dance here. And yeah, can't really do a lot. He's swapped. He's gone back into Talonflame, but he's got no shields now, and the Talonflame's in Rock Slide range, so super comfortable here. Probably could have played this a little bit better than we did, but we've got Medicham in the front as well, so there's not much he can do at this stage. But yeah, could have farmed a little bit more there because we kind of CMP'd. And see if this is Power Up Punch. Psychic, so yeah, we're going to be able to get to the Earthquake in time, which is good. And that's just about that end of the matchup there. Bang, one mud shot, see you later. So yeah, another good win there. All right, into the next game. Medicham on a Zoomerall. Look, most people would be surprised to know Medi XL actually beats a Zoomerall in the one shield. So that's pretty good. So we've got no real reason to swap out here at this stage. But we might do it just for the lols in a minute. We just want him to throw some energy. And Pidgey-wot beats the Zoomerall. So it's just the debuffs. It's pretty crazy. They've got Play Rough there. We throw the Psychic here. Now, we might swap out to avoid getting farmed down here. We do, and at this stage we know that they've got Play Rough, and this is probably Hydro, so they'll want to use all their energy up before they die, so they throw there, and we can just farm this down, but they're onto that. Now, at this stage, we'll have to see what they've got in the back, but so far we've seen Sableye, and we've seen Zoomerall, so what that suggests is it could be a G-Fisk in the back, or it could be a Grass in the back, so we'll have to wait and see. Or it could be perhaps even their own Medicham. That's the sort of teams that get run these days. So Rock Slide coming through with CMP. We'll let this go. And then we'll come in with Pidgey. And let's see if Pidgey can get the job done here. So Pidgey's going to come in, Gust down, and it is a Medi, so that's perfect for us, obviously doing super effective. They've actually swapped perfectly on the move and caught it on the Azumarill. And unfortunately, as you can see there, it's broken their phone. So yeah, I did show you one. I promised to show you one, but yeah, threw the Feather Dance on the Azumarill and that broke his phone. Anyway, the team's not bad. Look, it does have a couple of glaring weaknesses, but it's super fun to use. And yeah, there's a lot of Jellicents around at the moment, a lot of Ghost types. Even Sableye struggles a little bit with Pidgeot because it's resisting the fast moves. And overall, it's a super fun team to use. And it got me up to rank 7 and got my Mienfoo or Mienfoo. Thanks for watching.